We're in the application section, and this is over here, the beaker icon by default. You're brought to the home page. We are currently working on one small feature, but your month selector over here. And then we have this Pula indicator. So it does tell you that there is a Pula notification for this product, and you can view it on the website. We don't have integration with our products that you have in inventory as of yet. We are working on that, but this will let you know if there is a notification from the EPA for your site. So over here, this course sprays on Mondays quite often. When you see this red little check mark right there, that means the application has been marked as completed. So they did a 0050 fairway application here, greens application here. This puts the past weather as well as the future 10-day forecast. They're predicting a little bit of rain on Tuesday with a high of 66 degrees. This is the next application that they will do. So when you click on this, you can mark it as completed, open it, or copy and paste to another day. We're going to open this application, and then this is what most guys will put in their book. Now, this little red E here means edited by somebody. I'll get into that in a moment. So this is what guys will print out to put in their book. The spray brew, anything that goes in a mix tank, it shows us product in the mix tank. MP and K, the rate. And then down here is spray rig additions of something you don't want in the mix tank, but the guys to put in separately. PPE and then any notes. Toss right here. And I'm using this particular club because they do a really good job of inputting everything. So they know that this application is going to cost them $13,305 or $1157 an acre. And then when you come up here, you do PDF. I'm going to say we want to print out the record. Goes through a whole bunch of different things. PDF exported successfully. It's now on the desktop, ready to be printed. So to get to all this, we're going to again open up the application and then go back to Edit. So April 19th is selected greens and surrounds. I'm actually going to do something here. Let me do that. Submit, confirm, and submit. You can print it right from there. Now, if you don't have a default rate, but in this case 8 ounces per 1,000, yes, we want to say that. So it's autofill these every time application is added. So if we add Rhizofoliar A, it's going to know 3.05. And this is kind of a one-time thing, but the reason I'm going through this is to show you what happens when we come into new application. So we're going to do an application here for the 21st. We're going to say greens and surrounds. Then currently we don't have pounds per 1,000 of these three, but we'll get there. I'm going to do a wetting agent and a fertilizer. Now, we are going to be using a mix tank in this case. So we're going to check mix tank and then the calibration that you want to do. So we're going to do a green spray. So we're going to use the greens calibration. It automatically knows that the green sprayer, because we've entered it before, is 300 gallons and spray is 3.23 acres. If you go into Add New, it'll say gallons to fill area covered. So we're using this one. Mixed tank capacity, it'll remember your last number, in this case 900 gallons. Then what you can do is I want to say this product is going to be in the mixed tank and only show me products I have in my inventory. So we're going to say fleet. Now, when we select fleet, they remembered the rate, 2.5, remember the ounces, total used product in mixed tank. Now, 2.5 gallon jug, you might want to say, hey, we're not going to have a partial jug, so we're going to do 9 gallons, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 9 gallons. And then that will put the E. But that's what will show up in the spray brew and the final numbers. But this is not editable, nor is this, but we're going to end up using 10 gallons in total. So let me do this here. Let me go back to 7, 8. Ounces, 9.4 gallons. So then if you want to add a new product that you don't have, but we're going to go add another product, and then we're going to say this goes in the mix tank, and we're going to do iron plus. So iron plus again. The rate, remember the units, 250 pounds total use, so I'm not going to override this because this club obviously has these sets, so that's nice, even numbers. So now we're going to do add another product, but this time we're not going to use the mix tank, and we're going to use Dacanel and use Dacanel action. There is no default rate saved as of right now, so we're going to say 2.5 ounces per thousand, 9.78 gallons. Well, we just want to use a nice, even 2.5 gallon jug. It's going to put 8.9 gallons in total, and then that's going to be our spray route. So now who knows how to spray? We're going to put those people in there. We're going to say which PPE is required. Any notes start on back 9, submit application, and then you end up with this. Now again, here it shows products in the mix tank, 8 gallons. How much iron's in the mix tank? 211, not edited, edited Dacanel action product per spray rig, 2.5 gallons, confirm, and submit. And then now it says, hey, you entered 2.5 ounces is your default, right? You want to do that the next time. Well, yes, I do, thank you. So we have a lot of autofill, a lot of memory involved in this. And now that application sits right there. I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I don't want to do a spray application based on what I want. And then as you go down the main page, we have growing degree days since February 2nd. Last week, yesterday, rain event, 7-day total. So you see we're going, and then down here, monthly breakdown of rain. So 7.2 inches in November, treatment readiness. So currently we are susceptible here to blight, and there's no coverage on the greens for it. So there's 5 active risks: bacterial wilt, brown patch bacteria, rapid blight, and rust. So this doesn't say you're going to get these diseases, but this is the potential that you have to get diseases based on the weather. And again, these are the 5 diseases, the 7 insects. These are all university, highest likelihood of certain weeds, and then the preventative calendar, no priority treatments at this time, based on growing degree days, pending applications, quick stats, recent activity. This is kind of a catch-all page for a whole bunch of different agronomy sections. New application, we just went through that, but it's just a self-walkthrough of it. And in agronomy, you can kind of see where you're at and what you've done so far. This course in 2026 has done 1/4 pound of N, 1.22 pounds of K. Let's take a look at the fairways. 1.42 pounds of N and 0.68 pounds of K. We also have the growing degree day calculator. So 2026, we've obviously been a lot warmer at this property than 2025, 2024, but average is 651. We're currently at 1 to 8. So 7 alerts have been reached in this growing degree day cycle. Nothing's expected of significance in the next 10 days. And then here are some basic thresholds that are set. So forgot what university this was pulled from, but they had sort of growing degree day triggers. You can also add your own down here if you're a big growing degree day person. But this one's very interesting, and how much warmer, I guess you would call 2026 to April 17th. It's double the amount of growing degree days from last year. Top dressing, you can see, which has happened, was this course doesn't want to see top dressing at the clubhouse, so once you X these out, they go away, but they monitor greens, which have been 100 pounds per thousand so far this year, and then they have a goal range of 1,500 to 2,500 pounds per thousand. So this will change color if you're on track or if you're behind or if you're running behind, red, yellow, green indicators. But you can do cubic yards tons. So 0.05 tons, cubic yards chemicals. These are all the chemicals that have been applied to dates. We've done 2 applications of Anew at this property. There's the EPA number total used. You click on this, it'll show you the dates that they were used. Same thing for all these chemicals, so we can add these other pieces of information. But what we do have is a use report button, so it'll print out, sell a print EPA number, and it always defaults to the last month. So a new easy, you can export, but it's just a very simple way of printing out anything with the EPA number for the use report. So over here is use reports, all months. You can also limit it to the months that you want or the chemicals that you want. Again, this is also why inventory is so important. Inventory will go down to Anew because I know they sprayed it. So this is everything that this club has on hand. Quantities, cost per unit, prices. I'm going to say I just want to see chemicals. So here's the Anew. Now, here's the EPA number, quantity they have on hand is 67.7 pounds New Farm. They got this from Harrell's at 83.45 pound. If you click on this little button right here, it'll show you year to date. They've applied 114.45 pounds for a total value of 9,551 of 4 applications. It'll show you when these products were applied. Green means they added 94 pounds on January 13th, removed 94.5 pounds. And so you can see the inventory of when things were added and taken out. You can see when they were sprayed, and then you can also see the exact applications if you want to know the complete history of any product you did. So let's go back to fertilizer. So they did do a 0050. So if we click on this default rate, 2 pounds per thousand, again, this is where when it passed in the earlier thing for that canal, 2.5 ounces, we did it, and then it automatically populates this. But as you're adding products, you can put it in a default rate if you like. And then we have all the nutrients. Down here, one item is running low. We can add all to cart, one item added to cart. You go up here, there's that create a quote, and that goes to the of your choice, who will then will automatically email this. So let's say I want 1,000 pounds. I want 1,000 pounds. Oops, I'll do 100 pounds. Create thing submission date. We'll do today additional notes next. You can pick who you want to send that quote to, and then it will email and request from each person. You did, those quotes will come back here into the system. You can see them all right there, and then hit purchase. It'll send a purchase order right over, and then we can track the purchase orders coming in. But I'm not going to get into all of that because that's more on the purchasing side, budgeting side of the thing that will automatically end up in your budget section. So that's pretty much it. We got the home page. This is where you build the application. This is where you see the history, and this is where you see the inventory.